Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
How's it going? Mr. Man has his sunglasses on.
Yeah, because I gotta be up until midnight tonight doing conference calls with people in Thailand.
Yay.
So I better believe it's the middle of the day because it sure is gonna be like it.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. How's your week been, Mr. Anderson? You've been busy.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of speaking gigs. It's been fun.
Yeah.
And it kind of plays into this whole parenting thing because the theme of all this has been hey, you're a cybersecurity expert, you're fantastic at what you do, but if you don't have emotional intelligence and you don't have the social skills to communicate effectively with other people, meaning you ask good questions, you listen to what they say, then you have a conversation about what they say, and then maybe you give an idea of the solution, but not until you establish trust. And so that's kind of, parenting. If you don't let your kid talk and you immediately come up with a bunch of solutions and don't have any dialogue whatsoever with your kid, then you're just a cyber nerd talking to a VP. And the VP can fire the cybersecurity nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Your kid's kind of held hostage. They cannot fire you until they can.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about kids, right? Like,
if
you annoyed me to the point where I couldn't take it anymore, technically I could divorce you. I can't really do that with my children. So we've got to all figure out how to live together. And we talked about how you and I get on the same page with things.
We do that ish.
We try. Sometimes we can't get ahead of something before it happens, but we do try. One of the things that is such a source of stress for me right now, I can't speak for you, but I think you would agree, that we have so much going on now that neither one of us are doing a real good job of being point person. Up to now, it's really always been me. And then our oldest and I got to an age and a stage where she and I just were like this all of the time, and you sort of took the lead for a while. But now you're getting back into a season of travel again, and I'm going to be traveling some with you.
Parenting's hard. Screw that. Let's get on the road, man.
Yeah, let's outsource this. Boom. So, no, but really, something we've really come to understand that we really, really need is another set of hands. So one of the things that we talk about a lot when we talk about our community building is building the kind of people around you that are really going to get you where you want to go. And I think that you and I have done a fairly good job of that. Like, we love our yard guy. We love our finance guy. We have some really awesome providers, and
but we love them. You should tell them who they are. Who's the yard guy?
Our yard guy is Jonathan Williams. If you need his number, please message me. He is the BEST. I'm telling you, he is fantastic, and he has great customer service, which is often not the case with a yard guy. But he's also helped with a lot of landscaping type things.
He built my fire pit. He did all the things.
Yeah,
it's
so
very cool.
He's a great guy. And our finance guy, of course, is Richard Matthews, who some of you already work with, and he's fantastic too. I sent my mom and my stepdad to him this week because I just really trust the guy. And let me tell you, we have had some finance guys that we did not trust.
Oh, no, we completely trusted them. And then we're like, oops.
The tax guy.
So parenting,
I digress. We needed more hands on deck here. Both of our sets of parents are getting older. They just are.
Yep.
And they're so good. They help us out so much. But, we traveled in February. We traveled in March. We are traveling again in May. And
April too.
April.
This month.
Yeah, well, this upcoming weekend, we'll both be gone. So we have been asking a lot of our parents, and it's getting to be where we really feel bad. They get to have their retirements and enjoy that. So we need help. And so we're going to take our own advice and start looking at our trusted resources and find an extra set of hands.
Yep.
So we interviewed with a girl tonight that we know and that we like a lot, and I'm hoping that works out. It might not. I'm hoping it does. But, you know, sometimes I think our kids will respond to a fresh set of
Lungs.
Yeah. I mean, she's young, she's cool. I think it's going to go well. And, you know, now that they're older, I think they just need a different kind of support.
But there's some challenges there because the very thing, we want to bring in another set of hands to help us, but now we have 3 people who have to get on the same page about how we parent, right? And so all of these things that we've been talking about, how do you get on the same page, how do you resolve, and all this stuff, now we've added more complexity to it. So we've really ratcheted the scales up and ratcheted the complexity of this whole thing up. So I feel like there's 3 phases of all this. There's before there's an interaction with the kid, where you have an opportunity to do the best you can to get on the same page on how you plan on doing things, and you'll get maybe 70% of the things figured out. Then there's when you're in front of your kid, and that's when you should be doing we're on the same team no matter what. I back her up no matter what, she backs me up no matter what, even if in the middle of it I'm like, oh, she's totally screwing up our kid. Then there's after everything with the kid, right? And this is typically where you can have a lot of grace in parenting, because you'll try the best you can, but then when you're in front of the kid, you'll still screw up. So what's really important is for you to have transparency with your kids to say, Mom and Dad did the best we could on that one. Whoo, we are sorry.
I had a moment like that today.
You did, and I was proud of you because Carrie reacted to a thing and said some stuff, but then came back around and realized that put everything in the family into a tailspin.
Yeah.
You want to tell the story?
Well, so those of you who have small kids, Adele and Laura, you won't know this yet, but Scott and Wanda, maybe you do. When children get up a certain age, they start having a certain odor.
From their pits.
Yeah. And so, said child walked in the house.
From after a birthday party of running around and being over at a friend's house and taking walks. Very physically active.
No, it was after your lunch. It was before you guys went.
Let her tell the story, Adam.
Yes, let her tell the story, Adam. Anyway, she walked in the door, and without me even saying, hello, how are you? I said, Eva, the child in question, is that you? Or is that your sweater? I was like, either way, we've got to do something.
This happened.
She folded in on herself. So I totally called her out. And I didn't mean to call her out. I mean, there are loving ways to try and steer your children, and shame is not the way to do it. I reacted because I was dealing with a lot at once. I was trying to get us out of the house. We had a birthday party to go to. I'm trying to get stuff set up for the week. I'm trying to I was ordering furniture.
You bought a bed.
Yeah,
you paid some bills, and
I was trying to handle things, right? And we're just trying to get ourselves out the door to get to this birthday party, and it just felt like another thing that I was handling. But immediately afterwards, she started giving Adam a hard time. And it was probably 10, 15 minutes that you were like, I heard the two of them having a conversation out here in the hall. You know, you've got to change your attitude. If I ask you to do something, you have to do it. And blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you know what?
And
this is not her. This is me.
Well, I was intentionally keeping her out of the kitchen because I felt Carrie needed some space to handle her stuff.
I was obviously feeling some type of way. So it was clear to everybody else that I was irritated too. So I think they were just giving me a wide berth. And had to actually go out to the hall and say to Adam and to Eva, you know what? I have to take responsibility for this. I was wrong for nitpicking you as soon as you came the door without even saying hello. It was rude, it was inconsiderate, and I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Certainly, it is my job to talk to you about these things, but I should have handled it better, and I didn't, and I apologize. And immediately, the kid's behavior turned around. Immediately.
And we model the behavior. We model the behavior because later that day, she tripped her brother on purpose. And he fell down and he hurt his knee. And first, we laughed at him. When I mean Eva and I both went, bah! And then it was like, maybe
because
he's really hurt.
Because we are kind and thoughtful people.
Like, maybe he's really hurt. And he's sitting on the thing, and I said, Eva, let's say sorry. And not only did she say sorry, she got up and kissed his boo-boo.
Aww.
Right?
Aww.
That was modeling you saying, I own it, and I'm sorry. We have a real hard time with our kids apologizing. I don't know if you guys do.
Yeah, they don't like that. I don't get it.
This is an opportunity that if you are parenting and you drop the ball and you own it and bring it back, oh my God, guess what you're teaching them, right? That's a huge opportunity. Oh, fun fact, she went to bed in that sweater.
I know. I hugged her.
She took a shower. She was all queen, and then she went.
She went and put back on the same nasty sweater.
Parenting.
Well. Oh, guess what I found out earlier this week?
What'd you find out?
Kenton has been washing his clothes without detergent.
They got wet. Man, hey, 7-year-old doing his own laundry. Fantastic.
I guess I asked for it.
So let's just review.
Explains a lot.
There are 3 opportunities for you to parent, and that is pre-parenting, where you guys are having conversations. What do you think about this? How should we handle that? And that should probably be addressed during times that aren't your family business meeting. That should be like, hey, we're date night. And maybe these things aren't long conversations. Maybe they're 30 minutes or less. But
right.
you can tackle some of this stuff ahead of time. Then there's parenting in front of your kid when you guys are acting as a team. And really just say it over and over in your head. I'm on her side, I'm on her side, I'm on his side, I'm on his side. I gotta back her up, I gotta back her up. But careful though, because what I do is when I'm saying that, I get like, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, in your face,
Kid.
Oh, right? Because then I'm like so much on her side, I sometimes confuse myself and just say, if I'm on her side, I must be against my kids. You don't have to do it that way. You just have to make sure that you're on her side. You can also be on your kid's side. But
why don't we all be on the same team?
Because kids are assholes.
Be careful.
Kids are gentle, sweet spirits.
I mean, not that far.
Anyway, so that's a minefield say. And the last one is after the parenting is done, there's another round of parenting, which is it's time to own up to how you did. And you know what? If you parented like a boss, you might go and get a 360 review and say, hey, I feel like I did that real well. How do you feel like I did? Honestly, did you feel like I listened to you? Did you feel like I respected you as a person? Do you feel I had all these things? 'Cause I feel like I crushed it. And if they come back with a no, well, then you were doing a great job because they trusted you enough to say no. So, yeah. What do you think? You want to say some final stuff?
There was a time when you had a homework assignment to help her with that you thought you were crushing it.
Yeah, it was fantastic. She had to come up with an invention, an entrepreneurial venture. And I was like, that's me. I can do that. And I knew if I was funny, she would get involved. And so she wanted to do some cat collar that had like all this digital stuff. I'm like, man, we can't do a prototype on that. We need like no electronics and no moving parts. So we decided that we will do a cat product, but it will be a gemstone that hangs behind the cat attached to its tail, hiding its anus. And she loved it. We were giggling and we're making progress, and it's no longer work, it's play. And we tell Carrie, and her body language speaks far, far louder than her voice did. And I realized right then, like, you know what? Yeah, she cannot roll into her fifth grade class. Like,
With
my
cat jewelry.
my invention is a kitty tushy, whatever,
It wasn't even original. It had already been done.
which made it easy for us to buy it. Cost $8. They had to drop ship. It's fantastic. Anyway, so I feel like I was crushing it, but I really did require that external guidance to come in and say, hey, you know what?
It might not be appropriate.
Inappropriate.
For a fifth grader.
And my problem is I really don't listen to the rules or follow them very much. And so when the rules are like, these are how we do, and you turn it in, I'm like, no, I'll do it my way. And turns out there are some occasions where you literally have to follow the rules. The law, for example, kind of have to follow those rules.
It's just a suggestion.
I'm open to it.
Yeah.
I'm coachable.
So, I'm telling you, it's a constant adjustment all the time. You know, the older folks always tell us young moms, always tell us young moms, you know, don't wish it away. The days are long, but the years are short, and it's really true. So our oldest is almost 11, and it has just flown by. And I don't want to wish away these good times. I really don't. I don't want to miss anything. And I don't want to change anything. I also don't want to be miserable. And I don't want her to be miserable. And I don't want
You don't want to associate her with
no,
you
I don't
being
want
miserable.
them to. I don't want them to associate that, right? And I don't want them to remember how mommy and daddy fought. Actually, I don't mind them knowing that mom and dad fight. What I want them to see is mom and dad making up, mom and dad saying they're sorry when they actually are, and them owning up to their mistakes and making some changes.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to see more than anything, is to be an example for that. So.
Well, they don't need to see all of us making up.
Ew. So, I'm curious. We talked a little bit about it during the week, about when you feel like your spouse is the best at parenting. I talked about how Adam does such a good job of talking up our kids and sort of giving them different ways to think about things. And I don't remember anybody ever doing that for me as a kid, is saying, yeah, but what if you thought of it like this? And sort of putting a different lens on it for his kids and helping them to see things from different angles. And I just really, really appreciate that, because he does that for me in real life too. So I really appreciate that about you, that you just are able to speak insight into them.
Yeah, and I think I talked about how you have a certain endurance for parenting that is shocking to me. And it's just fantastic to see you show up constantly, fail, and then go and, have some moment and then come back ready to fight again. And the thing that I didn't get into is that the superpower isn't just that endurance. It's you being brave enough to do self-reflection, to say, I was in there, I parented, I did my thing, everything went sideways. I can't change her. I can't change him. Let me go and reflect on how I can come back at a different angle. And there's sometimes where it builds up some resentment, like, why can't you people accept me for who I am? I've heard that, right?
From me.
From you,
yeah.
right? And it's like, well, we do accept you for who you are. It's just you're brave enough to bob and weave and to keep trying different things, and in acceptance and love, different things. You're just a rock star.
Well, that's just how I try and go about life. You know, that Going on a Bear Hunt song that you sang to your kids when they were little. And you come to a log and you can't go under it, can't go around it, gotta go over it. That's how I think of life in general. If you can't go this way, what way can you go? nothing should just stop and be stagnant and miserable. I don't
Yep.
believe life is supposed to be lived that way.
Yep.
So this week coming up, we are very, 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 very close to launching the Facebook page. So this is our Facebook group. We're going to launch our Facebook page. The Facebook page will be public. And as we start filtering people in through our offers, then they will get added into the Facebook group with the rest of us and get all this special content. Now, they probably will start getting all of these same Sunday lives that you get, but they won't get the blog material. They won't get the extra special love and attention that we try and give you guys. What?
I'm gonna give them some love and attention in just a minute.
You're gonna get a little ballad sung to you.
Go ahead, keep talking.
So as we go forward from here, the things here in the group shouldn't change too much, other than we hope to be starting to gradually add folks in, getting at some different dynamics, getting some different opinions and comments, and that's sort of exciting because this is where we are now. This whole WLE thing, this whole project has really been sort of growing up into what it's going to be when it grows up. And we're getting there, folks, and a lot of that is because of the help that you've given. We really would not be here without these core families that have given us a lot of feedback and a lot of interaction and just such good energy. And we just ask you to please keep plugging it and giving us as much information and feedback. If you don't like the minstrel that I brought with me today, please let us know in the comments or private message me if you don't want to hurt his little feelings.
Keep that to yourself. I don't know if you hear that.
But next week we are going to be talking about gratitude, and that is kind of like what we were talking about tonight. You know, even when we get really angry about certain things or frustrated because we are not on the same page with some things, it's always good to like go back to your touch point of, you know what, but I'm grateful that he does do this. I'm grateful that he does this. I'm so grateful that he's there for my kids in this way. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that and talking about some of that in the business world as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had an opportunity yesterday to go and speak. What did you learn there about how things are changing in the business world?
So I talked to about, I don't know, there's about 50 folks in the auditorium and then about 150 at the networking event. And, you know, it's, you have to be careful with what you observe because often you filter things. And if I have a belief on how the world works, I guarantee you I'm going to surround myself with people who also believe the same thing. Even if they don't, I'm going to perceive what they say as to resonating with me, right? So I would say that the thing that I see gratitude really coming together is that there's a huge movement in how do we help young cybersecurity professionals enter into this thing. And so we're doing this new community called Cyber Masterminds, and it's all about there's a critical shortage of mentors out in the world. And whole life entrepreneurship has taught me, look, a community is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Being able to hear what you guys are doing and all that, and I'm going to be running some online masterminds for these young guys and gals and putting them towards the tracks for improving themselves. And I'm not worrying about technical expertise. I'm worried about social skills, emotional IQ, because you can be the best doctor in the world and be hanging out with the guy who cleans the floor, and you both could be learning and teaching each other emotional intelligence. It has nothing to do with the skill. So I'm able to plug in executives and red team offense guys and blue team defense guys, and it's going to be great. And it was inspired by the work that we were doing with you guys and the give and take that we're getting. Because honestly, Carrie and I are learning so much from you guys, is that we have this overwhelming sense of gratitude for you guys being here. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this next week, because we can go all over the place with this topic.
Yes. And next week, you will have to do a remote live.
Yeah, we've done it before.
So those are always kind of fun and interesting.
I'll find an airport to be disgruntled in.
No, I think you'll be where you're supposed to be, because Sunday is the 7th and you're not coming home till Monday.
I know, but it's funnier if I'm in an airport disgruntled. That's what we did last time.
Yes, it does make for a good story. For sure. There's our gratitude. Yeah?
Nah, screw that. Let's try something new.
Tomorrow is April 1st. So don't forget to trick somebody.
Don't forget to wear green.
No, that's not how it goes.
That's a trick, honey. It's April Fool's. If I get them to wear green.
Totally. All right, guys. Well, we are out for the night. What?
Nothing. I just thought that was funnier than you did. That's cool.
I think he's already slap happy, and it's not even to his 11 o'clock meeting yet.
Maybe I should take a nap.
Maybe.
Good
All
night.
right. Good night, friends. Bye-bye. Finish.